work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. Rebecca Azor. I don't know why I like saying your name wrong.
It's okay because everybody did for most of my life, and it was me. It was you that told me to correct them.
It's true. It's true.
But I was laughing because, I have a raspy voice, and I was having some trouble with my voice these past few days. No, the voice is raspy. But in that intro just now, I was giving you guys Barry White.
Barry White, yeah, for sure.
Barry White. It was your voice helps us. I was like, you know what? That's all right, because sometimes my voice can do that. Meanwhile, your voice helps us, and my voice helps you guys. But this week, this past few weeks, or not past few weeks, past few days, my voice was completely gone, not because I was screaming or anything like that. It was actually some kind of like stress that really made my internal stress that made my voice go away. So I'm getting it back just in time for us to do this weekday show. So, and thanks to the person that just sent me a Cash App. Interesting enough, they said
already.
Right. No, it was great. They said for your happy almost birthday. You remember. And that's why I wanted to shout it out at the beginning, because you remember. Okay. That's so sweet. Well, my birthday is May 15th. May 15th. And it's almost my birthday. But that was so kind. That made me smile. Phoenix, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But hey everybody in the chat, make sure right now you like, you share, you subscribe. You move, we got some things to discuss on today. I don't know what you got in mind, Ben, but I got a couple of things. And before we do that, I just want to, somebody said this online. And I said, I'm gonna go ahead and tap into this. My therapist also told me that. She said, if you have a tribe of people and you're going through something, don't be afraid to speak to your tribe. And I was like, I don't trust them people. I don't trust nobody. I'm just kidding.
But are they your tribe if you don't trust them?
This is true. But also, what does that mean for you sometimes when people are your tribe and you don't trust them? You don't trust them because of trauma. You don't trust them because, it's a you thing too. Like, I can get it done myself. And so she was like, Rebecca, as you are out of work, let me go again. You should definitely lean on your tribe. Your tribe is your audience. Your tribe is those people. So they can help you stay afloat while you're doing your work and figuring it out. She's like, you got to let people know what you're going through or whatever. Because I ain't the one to do it. I ain't the one to do it. We're the type of Haitians that have a lot of Black people themselves. We have a lot of you can be just out and down, and you're just gonna have to get it for yourself. Like, you don't want to ask nobody because you remember that one cold time you asked somebody back in 1993
and they couldn't do nothing for you.
You said
they said
that's
no.
That's why I don't even ask nobody. That's why I can't even do it. But she had told me, she's like, no, girl, you have a tribe. Let them help you. You help them, let them help you. So y'all already know. Becca's voice on Cash App. Help your girl. Rent is due tomorrow. Help your girl figure that out. But let's get to the news, man. It's been some things. It's been 100 days. 100 days since Donald Trump has been in office. How has your spirit been in 100 days?
I have never been better, Rebecca. I'm actually quite blessed and highly favored. I
love that for you.
I clearly recognize the chaos and the destruction that's being caused by this. I really want to take a second to fix my camera. It's bothering me so much. I'm off sync, but I got to get up and go around my
Go ahead and turn it off, and I'll go ahead.
I'm going to finish talking about my 100 days, and I'm going to put you on full screen.
Okay.
Like, we clearly know the disaster. Like we're gonna put up some clips. We got some clips of what's happening, right? So the GDP already has decreased. We're in a recession. One more quarter of what Trump already did, and we'll be in an official recession. Measles is on the uprise. Polio is making a comeback, right? We have all of these indicators that we're living in the age of poverty and the age of pestilence. But I'm okay. The reason I'm okay is because, sometimes the only thing that you can do is see the crisis clearly. Might not can fix it, might not can change it. But if you understand what's going on and you can keep your head about you while others are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you do that, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's I think it's more easier than it was the last time around because we didn't know at that time and we were losing our minds. And then 2020 came, we were in the middle of a pandemic. That wasn't even Trump's 100 days. That was our first day, 100 days outside of Trump. And then people had scaled the wall before Biden even took office. And then we was in a pandemic, of course. And then there was this Black Revolution reckoning. At that time, it was police brutality. It was just people. It was the candles being made out of cotton scents and watermelon scents, and IKEA selling all kinds of Black American food, which I didn't think was such a bad idea. But at IKEA, trying to, it was Nancy Pelosi kneeling in the Kente clock. It was so much happening. And we were still fighting in that moment to try to undo what Donald Trump did, but it was almost as if he planted so many seeds that they grew. Even Biden's laws weren't the best either. However, these 100 days haven't aged me. Thank God for Jesus, because I already been through it and I told y'all what I was going to do.
Thank God.
But we also got my own personal stuff going on, but it has felt like 4 years. 100 days have felt like 4 years because every single day, maybe hour by hour. We ain't even talking about how we did in his first 100 days where the story was how many times that he went golfing. This time around, it is what is the next thing he's going to do in the next 5 minutes? What law or policy is he going to roll back? What law is he going to say he is above? Him and his administration is above. What black group of people are going to be attacked now? Because we're already a minority group, and within our subgroups, who's going to be attacked directly? Like, what's going to happen tomorrow? What white person is going to feel so bold to go out and say something racist online? I mean white person, I mean white leader, right? I mean like our white representatives, I mean our white doctors, and who is going to come out here and not care about their jobs, their corporations, them being CEOs of any of this? He's giving people free passes to do so much. So much damage. And all while trying to construct a dictatorship. And it's actually happening. You know what I mean? So this 100 days has not been like, we knew he would do this, but going through it as he's doing this, the first 10 days was like, oh my God. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to go. I don't know which story we're going to cover today. I might need 5 minutes for myself. I told them that I was going to take a break, but the people out here giving the news is giving it wrong. It's just so the next 30 days, I was like, I just gotta come back. I just gotta come back. I love it. Because we need to start talking about what's really going on. And this is not a moment where we're trying to lead the horses to water. We trying to hop on these horses and head out for the people who ride out. That's what we're doing. We ain't trying to lead y'all to water no more and drink nothing. We taking the horses that listened. We taking the horses that want to be on the way. We got somewhere to be. Okay. On the way, we will continue to give you where to go, directions, how to do it, because we're not doing it anymore where we've given you such time and you guys believe that it wasn't that serious. It wasn't going to happen. It was now. Here we are 100 days in, and Donald Trump has rolled back policies within a previous administration, and he wasn't even president at that time. And then as soon as he got in, he took away so much and threatened to take away more.
Yeah.
Believe the threats is what I'm saying.
That part.
What I'm saying.
That part.
And then for me, specifically, what gets me under the Donald Trump administration right now is the education, the rollbacks on education, specifically the attacks on HBCUs. And of course, as you know, immigration issues under Donald Trump have been one of the main things. And of course, he started with the attacks on Haitians and let that be the face and all that stuff. But really, he's coming after all of you. He's coming after all of you. And pay attention, because the ones that thought that this was not an actual issue for them, it came a knocking.
They about to find out the hard way.
They about to find out the hard way. He done told people to self-deport. I know I keep mentioning that, but I'm telling you because y'all thought it could never be you. It could never be you. And here we are today, and white folks, Ukrainians, love you, mean it. You should be away from the war-torn country, absolutely, into a free space where you can have a chance to live your life. But he said you too.
Yep.
Everybody. Yep. Everybody, unless you got the golden card, the money to purchase a golden card. What is it? $5 million to buy your way, to buy your American citizenship, to buy your American dream. Yeah.
And I wonder who, well, Rebecca, you said so much in there. Where do I even start? So let's start with white folk. And I know you contextualize it for the Ukrainians, right? But all white folk, do y'all not see how he has literally used dark-skinned immigrants as the conduit to screw you, to take you for everything to crash whatever you had in the 401k. Now I get it because a lot of us weren't even fazed by what happened to the stock market in these first 100 days because we ain't got no money in the stock market to begin with. We ain't got no 401k. We ain't got no 501c3 BAFG. LMNOP. Ain't got none of that, right? But some of y'all have some retirements. They got devastated while his friends made hundreds of millions of dollars. Marjorie Taylor Greene made millions of dollars. One guy, Donald Trump bragged, had him right there in the White House, said, you made 900 million in a day because of how Trump was playing with y'all. Trump has used the hatred that you have in your heart for immigrants and black people to destroy you. And you know what? Hey, misery loves company. We just all go and suffer together. Come on, let's all come on down here with us poor folks so you can see what it actually feels like because you let your racism turn into your poverty.
Yep. And you were always poor. Some people, when we talk about them all the time, the people that they were affected from him rolling back healthcare laws and just different things, housing, a lot of these different things. You were toothless. Okay. They pulled my teeth out in the back. I'm grateful I can smile and still got something going on. About 4 teeth left in the front. But the ones that got no teeth left and they over here riding for Donald Trump.
Come on.
And you are on your last peg leg. You literally cannot, you driving that truck until the truck ain't nothing left of it. Okay. There is nothing you can do. You can't get to your meds. You cannot afford the programs that you are on, specifically for the one. And I say this because I'm thinking about the woman that started the whole situation with the Haitians eating cat in Ohio. She's on programs. She's not able to work. She voted for Donald Trump because she said that they said that the immigrants were taking the work, and they were saying that the
Thank you, B. I'm so proud of how hard I worked
for listening on this level of wealth. Oh my goodness. Who? B done said that she likes, for the listening audience, she likes Ben's fake house. If you guys go onto YouTube, you'll see Ben with a beautiful interior, and thanks to the
Oh
green
man,
screen.
listen, we popping, ain't it? Ain't
But we touch
we
and
we
agree that
balling?
we
We
touch and
wait,
agree.
wait a minute.
Ben, look, you know what's so crazy? Why does your camera work better with the green screen in the background? But as soon as you put it out, you look, there you are. You're back again. Okay, good. I guess. Yeah. But just we touch and agree that
Yes.
one day it shall be
Hey,
so. Look, it
hey.
shall be so. It shall be so. Anywho, but I think all these people who are on programs who voted for Donald Trump, only to find out that the things that they were told to
Yes.
win the vote. Remember the groceries?
Yep. Groceries
They
up.
put they baby, they up and they stuck. Wait, it ain't even stuck because it's been moving. Y'all was
Yes.
complaining that they was $8 at the time, $7, baby. We went from 9 and we went to $13. It's a pandemic amongst the eggs again. Again, I bet you wish them eggs was $4 and $5. But here we are at $13. You voted for a man that told you he would help you with your health care.
Mm, mm.
Insulin, right? And I ain't talking about GLPs and stuff like that. I'm talking about the insulin that people need. They're not able to get it for the diabetes or whatever the case may be. People are getting their chemo removed. That's how people are saying that they can no longer go or can afford because under this law or under changes, they can't do certain things. I just saw, and this, it wasn't true to the exact sense. It was narrowed down and marginalized, of course, where they said that Donald Trump will be taking away the mental health care hotline. When I looked further into it, I saw that I think he was removing it for the LGBTQIA plus. I want to say, but he's doing something where he's removing access to things that we need or things that we worked hard to obtain.
That's right.
To get.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Go
And
ahead. Ben.
no, because I thought that was I thought that was not a pregnant pause. I didn't recognize that was a pregnant pause. My fault.
No, it wasn't.
But and what's wild about it is they have no, their fangs are out. They don't care to hide their cruelty. They actually revel in it. They get off on it. Like it turns them on. I think they get sexual arousal out of how cruel they can be to everybody but them. And here's the thing though, they're even being cruel to themselves, right? These people, they're losing their family members to the pandemic still. They had children die of measles, right? They're losing their benefits all while they're still getting high off of being cruel to other people. I mean, I don't think they see how they are writing their own destruction as they celebrate it, and they celebrate it in Jesus' name. Like they really believe that they're doing all this in the name of Christ, but they're destroying others and destroying themselves, and they think that they are the enlightened ones. It's crazy.
Yeah. And even, oh my gosh, thank you for bringing that portion of it up. The religious aspect of it. These people are walking around here training up the churches, cult like. I think all churches are cult like anyway, even mine. But just training up the churches to be Nazis.
Yes.
And again, this is under Donald Trump, who doesn't even serve God. He told y'all he ain't real Christian, and you guys still are choosing to cover this man in that way and are repeating his nonsense within your church, right? He's taken over religion. He's taken over the immigration system that America has, that wasn't even all that good, that wasn't even all that big, that wasn't even all that important to America, an already broken system that had so much work needed, and he has basically put it down to nothing.
Yeah.
And he's taken racism, a lot of the historical things that we accomplish as Black people in this country, even while we've been ignored by law, we've done for ourselves. He's made sure that within education, we're going to be reprimanded for things like having an HBCU, when the whole idea of having an HBCU was because we couldn't go to white institutions. So we created our own. Now we're being held, reprimanded for that very thing. Also because we have financial aid that aids minority children, Black kids, because our parents are in America systemically not able to, because of the systems, not able to pay for their child's school. And they're saying, I see a lot of people saying, oh, because your parent decided to do whatever and they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that. No, your parent went to school. Your parent had to probably come out of school, help pay for a house over your head, whatever, stuff like that. And these systems allow us to make a better life to end generational curses, and they're making it even difficult for us.
Yes.
As if we're asking for handouts. Is a black kid wanting to go to school and getting the help that they need with programs from black communities that grant them the ability to be able to do so a problem so that they can end generational curses? No, I believe that the system wants to keep us down. Now I sound like I sound like Dr. Umar. I believe that the system want to keep the man down.
You sound like the old Umar. The new Umar helped get Donald Trump elected.
Oh, yeah, because we played that. We played the juxtaposition from when he said at the first time that he doesn't think that Donald Trump should be president on the Breakfast Club, to going on to, I think, speaking to white folks and telling them that Donald Trump is the next president. He's like the Messiah. He has to be president.
Saying talk. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but you were saying, I didn't mean to take you on a tangent, but yeah, you sound like the old Umar.
Yeah, so I was saying that the systems are literally trying to break us down so that we are no longer knowledgeable, so that we are no longer prepared for what's going to come, so that we are no longer pushing to do. They want to make us faint and weary, like we already haven't been. But we are the people we're the type of people that push through, right? We'll step back for a minute, take a breather, but we're going to push through. But they want to make it feel that there is no way where we can't bow down to the law, where we can't bow. And I believe, again, like in my thing, I believe that we have to respect authority, but this is not respecting authority. This authority, the same authority, is abusing us. It's a system that is abusing us. Nothing was created in America. It never was created with us in mind. They had to tweak things because we literally marched for it. We took back our businesses for it. We built communities for it. They had nothing. No seasoning. So they had to come back and be like, we give them DEI. We give them that corner in the building. And even though it's a job for about 20 people, we put 2 black folks over there and we tell them to hold it down. And we say, we have fulfilled our quota. Who's going to cut your grass? Y'all over there wrangling up the people that want to do the work, that actually know how to do agriculture. Because y'all ain't doing it for real. I've been looking at some lawns and y'all don't really got that down pat.
Come on.
Y'all don't. Who gonna take care of your kids? Who's gonna take care of your parents? My mom is a nurse and she works with a lot of CNAs, HHAs, who are fresh immigrants, who took courses to be able to take care of the grandmother you don't want in your house. To be able to take care and clean up the person that has non-working brain right now, and you think you're that person, that child, that family member, that friend, as you're their guardian, is just too much work. A lot of immigrants are taking care of them for you. I do not, in my mom's field back home, I hardly see a white person working and doing those jobs.
You ain't gonna ever see it. They ain't gonna go out there and do that. They would look. Historically, my dearest white friends, when do white folks do their own work? In the United States of America? When do white folks do their own work? I ain't talking about you as an individual. So everyone who's listening, you know I love you. If you're listening, I know you. If you're a woke white ally, you know I love you. I'm just talking about structurally in the United States of America. When did white Americans do their own work? The Chinese helped build the railroad system out west. Couldn't do that. Black folks did everything since 1619. Couldn't do that. We even built the White House. We built the Capitol. Like let's really structurally think about it, right? When it came down to feeding the masses, white folks weren't out there in the fields. It was Mexicans, right? So when has white America done its own structural work? And y'all think y'all gonna get out there and just, Wait a minute. Go one step further. Not nary item that's in your house right now has been built by white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Every technology you got came from China,
And
Japan.
the technology that was built by white folks, they don't even use it themselves. That's when you should be really questionable. R.I.P. to Steve Jobs. That man told us all he got in his house. He don't even let his kids use the cell phones. He don't even let he literally knew. They got rich off of implanting these things. Look, I really sound like them people today. I'm really giving they messing up the system. They not they mess up the system. They never meant for us to have the system. The black man always was told and want to show the old Kanye when he said, you know, pulling up in the, pulling up, you want all these things, but then in reality, you got this new car, whatever, and they always gonna look at you as still a nigga in the Benz. Like you're always going to be a nigga. Niggas in Paris, nigga, like you're just gonna be that. That's how they view you. And I think it really boggles my mind that they sit here, these white men right here, sit here and want people to stroke their egos every single day as white men in America. We must bow down to them. But the minute that they have to express the truth about why they are placed in this position, who's really the brains behind what they do in meetings, how they get like they're upset because it might be a woman or it might be a minority who's really keeping this as a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
And so this first 100 days is trying to tell us to F off. Right. Let's talk about it. Los, let's talk about it. Not Los 2. Pete Hegseth. Pete. This is somebody who was over the Defense Department of the United States of America. Not once, but twice has used outside unsecure communication.
Preach.
For Americans, while they're already in line with the Defense Department to attack Black people who are already working alongside the Defense Department, finding ways to get them out. And you got a whole person who's over the Defense Department who should be gone because of their lack of ability and qualification, expertise to run it. But all you got to be, as we've learned in the first 100 days of Donald Trump, is white and a man. And let's sprinkle in, make sure you're racist. We need you nice and racist. And then we might need us a house nigga. Other than that, we don't care. We will rewrite history. We will rewrite the programming and the qualifications so that they can fit. So now they're saying Pete Hegseth didn't do anything wrong because that's exactly what we wanted him to do. We were testing the waters.
Right.
You didn't see what you saw. You didn't hear what you heard because we knew already.
That part. What's crazy about it is the fact that there's nothing that Donald Trump and his cabal can do that these people won't turn around and say, yeah, I voted for that. Mm-hmm. You voted for the resurrection of polio. You voted for the resurrection of measles. You vote for economic decline. You voted for stock market crashing. You voted for that. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
And they're trained like puppies. They're trained like Pavlov's dog. No matter what bell Donald Trump rings, they always are going to fetch and say, we voted for that. No matter how much it destroys them. And we have to contextualize this for the story. I believe it was Texas. I'm not sure what state, but it was that white family whose daughter died of measles. And then they turned around and said that they'll do it all over again. And it was earlier in this year, we saw them making excuses for all the airlines, all the planes that were crashing, right? And I made the comment, I said, MAGA's they would rather die in a plane crash than to admit that they were wrong. And but then I realized it's even worse than that. They're willing to let their children die.
Absolutely.
Before and still won't admit that they're wrong.
They're willing to let their children die in mass shootings. And they still won't admit that we need gun control. So absolutely, they're not gonna say that they're wrong. They will not do it. They blamed it on drag queens. Remember? They'll blame it on mental health for the white people. They will never admit that they're wrong. They will never admit that they need to hold on. B, you putting these comments on and I'm reading them at the same time. B says, y'all gotta find a showtime that doesn't conflict with the Majority Report, which I like. You know, I got homies over there that I
Yeah.
also work with. Shout out to Bender. I'm so torn, but y'all win because I love you, as we should. Okay, the first 100
Listen,
days, go with a
but
black
look, let me say it like this though, because I'm gonna throw you under the bus, Rebecca. Like it or not, is a pop-up show. We pop up when Rebecca's available. So, you know.
And as Rebecca is available these days, she will be more available to do this more often.
That's true.
Yeah, y'all ain't see me more often these past few days since I've been out of work. Y'all ain't seen me more often. You can't lie.
This is true.
I've been here. Okay.
All right.
As we should. And thank you for being with us, B. You can catch the Majority Report on replay. Now, you know, and speaking of replay, I want to
real quick. I'm sorry. I got to stop putting comments on the screen, but Jose Kelly is ministering here. What did Jesus say to Jerusalem? Did you not pass your children through the fire? Did you not sacrifice your own children for your political and economic power, Jerusalem? Oh, Jerusalem. What a word.
Jose Kelly preaching today. He got you don't activated Ben.
Hey.
Activated Ben. I forgot what I was transitioning the phrase that I was using the transition, but I remember when Donald Trump had we haven't seen him play since, and that man still has aspirations. Black folks, see, we don't never give up, even though we be hurt and broken. Colin Kaepernick. I remember when we were first doing this, Colin Kaepernick was a football player in the NFL, and he decided to kneel. We never see that man play a game again.
Nah.
I remember Donald Trump spoke with them people and told them to get their boys in line. He called Colin Kaepernick and anybody else who kneeled sons, and pardon my French, but I need you to understand the president of the United States has normalized cursing as a president, has normalized speaking ill of people, not caring. Our representatives are now walking around on both sides. There's no decorum. It's a mess. But Donald Trump called them, I think it was sons of bitches.
Yeah.
If I want to be clear.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, Donald Trump has set the preference at that time that black men in the NFL, even though we already knew what it was like, what it is for black boys and sports. And I think that the latest, it reminds me, because Donald Trump has already, again, listen, out loud. We're not going to secretly do it anymore. We're going to be out loud with how we're going to deal with black boys who don't respect our authority, who who feel like they're much better than us. We're going to get them in line. Donald Trump has given that. Shedeur, which is the son of Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, was waiting to be drafted. There were a lot of things that I can talk about with that. But you can pull some B-roll for Shedeur. But Shedeur Sanders, again, is Deion Sanders' son. And he was waiting to be drafted. And he's so amazing. He's so great at what he does, but he's also very confident, just like his daddy was. Just like a lot of other NFL players or basketball players who are very confident in themselves and train every day and believe in their craft. And it was almost the talking points where he's too cocky. He needs to be humbled. He needs to, he thinks that he's going to get picked in the first draft, the first round. He's going to be a first draft pick. We'll show him. And what happened was, and I want to talk about this because there's a lot of layers to this, and I'm going to stick to this particular layer. What happened was he got a prank call. A prank call from a coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons' son, who got Shedeur's information from the iPad that was laying around of his daddy. This white little boy got Shedeur's information. Shedeur's phone that was given to him by Boost Mobile just for this moment. That number was in there.
Wow.
So it wasn't his a random phone number. It was literally just for this moment for the draft call. And this young man, Ben, there's a video out, and I don't know if
Yeah,
you can
I think
find
I know
it.
what you're talking about.
Okay. And this young man, who is the son of the coordinator, one of the coordinators from the Atlanta Falcons, prank called him and made it seem as if he was getting ready to be drafted, then accused him of taking funds inappropriately, NIL funds inappropriately for his, likeliness and anything like that. And we already know, and as I said, what bothers me the most is people were still stuck on, oh, it's just a prank call. It's just a prank call. It doesn't mean anything. But this is a young black boy, and we already know in the NFL specifically, but in sports, period. Why is it hard for black men who love sports to be okay with saying that there's racism systemically in the sports world? For Shedeur, put aside that you think that his daddy is cocky, he's cocky, and he don't deserve, and the same way people think about LeBron and his son and they don't deserve and all that stuff. There are systems meant to literally look at them as soon as they say it just is the same way that all the systems are meant to criminalize black boys. Here's another one. As soon as they say that this man was taking funds inappropriately, and this is in the joke phone call, the prank phone call, that he was taking funds inappropriately, that is something that's telling him that basically your black behind is doing something illegal, and immediately we will criminalize you and we will take away any rights, and you don't deserve to play for us because you can't get nothing right. It's problematic. And the way that that young man had actually handled it, I think was very, very mature. Um, he went on, accepted the apology, and moved on with what he needed to do. So, Ben, are you still with me? I think Ben
I am. I have to a little thing I got to take care of here. It came up real.
Okay. No, go ahead, and I'll find the video for you. But I say all that to say, we have to understand that in these systems as well, I feel that we can't just talk about, oh, that was just a prank call, oh, should do, because of our own personal feelings of, oh, he's too cocky, he's too this, he's too that, and that not address the dangers of that phone call. That phone call was dangerous, and the son, his name is Jax Olbrick, he is getting no issues. They're like, they're gonna just look into this. They're gonna see, make sure that that doesn't happen again. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else. I think that there's a fee maybe that the coordinator may have to pay, but he has it. He has it to pay. I think the Atlanta Falcons were fined. I think it says that they were fined $250,000 and the coordinator $100,000, but they got the money. They got the money to take care of it.
Right.
So, but let's listen to this phone call. And then I want to go ahead and let y'all know this was strategic. They already heard about he's too cocky. He's waiting for himself to be in the first draft pick. And the son of the Falcons coordinator literally had the phone number ready. They called him in this moment and he picked up the phone call. They were saying that they wanted to draft him and then told him about him, taking funds inappropriately, because that's what they do. They want to buck. What is it? Buck breaking? Yeah, that's what they try to do. But let's go ahead and take a listen.
Hey, is this Shedeur? This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to do.
But you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
What does that mean? What? What did he say? I don't know. How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone? You heard that?
He said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
So basically, he was trying to say that he misused NIL, the name, image, and liking deals. And we know that, again, black college athletes, they finally started making some money the legal way, because we know white folks will go over there and offer these black kids all this money and all this other stuff to get them to go to their schools. So And the system was making billions off these kids' names, and they're now these children that were being used were able to make money in the right way. And we know that Black kids will be scrutinized more with things like this anyway, because they're the ones that are wanted the most. I never see people really going to white folks' house to go and get them for the NFL. That's a mostly Black athlete sport. And so I say that to say this fake investigation call that they're saying that is just a joke, this kid have ruined his life, and it's on purpose. And I think that we're not seeing that Black athletes have long been stereotyped as the things like a cheater or a thief or whatever. Look how they did Vic, right? What's his name? Mike, Vic,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. And look how they did him when he was doing the dog situation. And then look how they did the white man who was getting food stamps or was still on welfare or something of the sort. And they let him be that football player that was still using government assistance.
You talking about
Nothing.
Brett Favre?
Yes.
Brett
You see what I'm
Favre, yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
there's always like, they're always going to criminalize it. So this boy who hasn't even started in the NFL yet, they already tried to make him, not only that they're saying that he's too cocky, they already tried to make him some kind of criminal within the system of the sports. So I get upset because the boy that did it, Ulrich, whatever. Again, got a slap on the wrist. Nothing will be done. Now imagine if it was Shedeur that did that to Ulrich. Imagine jail time. It would be, how dare he? This is people's dreams. This is how it would have been. All of that. It would have been all of that included. But here we are, and we're seeing where he has to keep his head up, continue to push for the game. He has to be somebody that's humble right now, while Jax gets to walk around. And he gave a apology, which they often do. And the apology was saying, I should have never took away your moment. I should never do this, X, Y, and Z. And I'm sorry. Thank you for taking my phone call. I hope that you find it in your heart to forgive.
Nah. Well, so forgive but not forget, right? And so honestly, looking at him wearing a Colorado jersey versus a Jackson State jersey, and then you contextualize it for the laughing, ha ha, kiki, the prank part that you talked about, as well as everything that they're saying about his arrogance and trying to make him humble and stuff. It just kind of is a bitter reminder of why prime time should never have left Jackson State in the first place. I know this conversation ain't about that, but I can't really talk. I can't really think about it and look at these images on the screen and realize it's not. And I'm not saying, because this what I'm saying is about Dion. It's not about Shedeur. What Shedeur is having to go through. I hate that it's so normalized for successful Black people, right? There's nothing that they hate more than a successful, confident Black person. I mean, they hate that. Like, they'll go to war over that. I mean, they would have lynched you for that back in the day. You couldn't be a cocky Negro, be good and cocky. So what he's going through, it's a shame, regardless of his father's decision to leave Jackson State and take his talent, Shedeur's talent, as well as his other son's talent, as well as prime time, Deion Sanders' talent, away from HBCUs. And you really think about it, right? And then this moment when Donald Trump is waging a war on HBCUs, right? This would have been the time to have that football economic power that Deion Sanders was selling us when he was first at Jackson State. Like, he was really selling us on this dream that is actually a right. I think the dream is correct. I think the idea that he had originally was correct. But now we're in a stage where, number one, HBCUs are under attack without anybody to give them cover. What do you think what do you think Donald Trump could have done to HBCUs while Deion Sanders was reigning over a resurgent in Black football, from black students at HBCUs. Like he would have had power in this situation, but now we don't have that power. Why? Because he took it to Colorado. And then two, you have this just reality check, right? Reality check. There's a whole segment of white folks out here who just absolutely not only don't care about you or your sons, Dion, but they'll make a mockery of them.
Yep.
And to me, that's all the more reason why our talents must go, our resources, our money, our economics, our politics, everything must go through the tribe, through the black community, through it first and foremost. Our dollars, it has to, because one, they're not going to respect us if we check me out. This is not, we're not asking them, we're not begging for respect. I'm saying without a power structure that commands and demands respect, they're going to continuously play with us like this. They're going to continuously run these narratives. They're going to continuously disrespect us, continuously mock us as they make money off of us. That's the thing. They making money off of us. They're making money off of them at Colorado, right? But it's all a part of the same ecosystem. I know that student wasn't from Colorado. I get that. But I'm saying that's all a part of the same ecosystem. If they can't see that, then I don't know what to tell them.
It's so interesting because I hear a lot of people say, you know, put it back into black. And I agree 100%. But things like, I know we are not in the best relationship with, what's that man name that I ain't getting right now? The man from Friday, Ice Cube. But he created a whole basketball team and people laughed at him. Then you know why, Ben? Because the idea, we've been conditioned to believe that when black folks do stuff, now don't get me wrong, just like any other community, we always be like, Haitians just gone, Jamaicans just gone, Caribbeans, Africans, Black Americans, we all be like, niggas gone, nigga. We always say that. But then when we do have something like, when we build something like, I think he built that basketball association, and when it first came out and he had the idea of it, people laughed at it. People laughed at it so much so where it was like, you know, that could never be a thing. And it never made the NBA feel threatened or hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, by the fact that he created this thing that gave black athletes an opportunity in a way that they would be protected, not how they are when they go to the NBA or all those other major sports.
Yeah.
I just feel like we automatically believe, like I'm with you on that, Ben. I believe that it should go through black
So
folks.
you believe there's a lot of black folks who believe white man's water is colder, their grass is greener.
I told you, if it wasn't for my beliefs and my understandings and my heart and my soul, I would have shut them jive right over to the money, Ben. I would have did something strange for a piece of change, because the stability means a lot to people. Money, you swing some money in front of somebody's face, they'll start speaking that language. They'll start doing those things. They'll start disrespecting the community that helped them grow, that birthed them. They will.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
They'll drink.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Becca.
No, I was gonna rant. Go ahead.
Oh, because this is what I'm working on this week. I don't know if I'm gonna preach it or if I'm gonna do a video about it. I don't know. Maybe I just tweet about it and call it a day. But that's because in order to be successful in an evil system, you start doing evil things. What does it even mean to be successful in a system where you have to participate and be complicit with so many different layers of just wrongness, doing other people wrong, grifting? You know, we live in a system that really, if we pause and ask ourselves the question, what is it that we're willing to do to be successful in a system that is designed, structurally designed to extract and exploit and to harm? And so that's why so many people, black folks, are willing. And I'm not, of course, this isn't just germane to black people. It's obviously germane to every single person on the face of this planet. And how much do we want to be successful? What are we willing to give up of our integrity, of our person, of our being in order to get the bag? And with that, the more you're willing to give up to get the bag, it literally translates as, especially if you're a Black person, it translates as, what are you willing to give up of your Blackness, of your history, of your culture, of your tribe? What are you willing to reject? And then it does trickle all the way down to laughing when other people try something. Mocking. I'll mock Ice Cube over the Platinum Plan because that was just politically naive and tomfoolery. But what he was trying to do with the basketball league, I get it. And why not? Like, literally, why not? Why not offer something? Why not be an alternative? Why not offer a different lane? But then it still comes back to all the same question that I started off with. What are you willing to do to be successful in an evil system? And I think we got to reprogram ourselves and start being okay with saying, I don't have to secure the bag. I got to feed my kids. Yeah, but I don't have to secure the bag by any means necessary.
No, and it shouldn't have to be that way for us, but we shouldn't have to keep saying that. Like, we gotta do all of this to secure a bag, to make sure that we got, just because we have a more, and people want to label it as a progressive or a left or whatever, it's the right thinking. Now, because I could be on some of the left and some of the, even in office right now, some of the left or some of the progressive, some of whoever, however they identify, they be wrong too. So just if you're on the right side of thinking, and we have to be penalized for that, not only because we're on the right side of thinking, we're Black and we're on the right side of thinking. We're Black,
that
we're
comes at an
immigrants,
extra cost.
especially on this show, Black, immigrant, products of immigrants, and LGBTQIA plus, all on here. And then love the Lord. It don't make no sense to nobody.
They're like, what? They're like, choose your struggle, like it or not. Choose your struggle.
Because it's too many. We only got room for one over here. And we all like, this is what it looks like. This is what unity looks like on the right side of things. I can't speak for the LGBTQIA plus community, but that is in the Black community. I cannot speak for all immigrant communities, but I know that I am a product of one and was raised right as that in America. I can't speak as a religious leader, but also somebody who is a political science person who taught as an educator. That's Benjamin P. Dixon. People are looking like, how is this possible? But we can be on the right side of things, understanding each other, doing the right side, but they do not. In everything that we know, somebody is doing greatness. All of the activists that we know that happen to get on a mainstream level or popular level have either passed away or moved away from the country after they felt like they've done all they can do.
That part.
And then there are some that have never been recognized until maybe 100 years later, 20 years later, when somebody says, this is the actual person that did this. This person was the first person to do this. The other day, I know this is not even the other day, I just want to let you know how much America still has to get themselves right and how much YouTube is exactly who we think it is. YouTube started about, I want to say 20 years ago. 25 years ago.
We coming up on 25 easily.
They just celebrated that, right? And the first Black video that was uploaded to YouTube was Guapale's Closer. Closer to my love.
You had to remind me. That was the first Black video uploaded to
literally, let me go and Google it, because I saw this the other day and I think it came from YouTube themselves as recognizing like that's such a great thing. And I'm like, makes sense systemically. Everything is literally systemically anti-Black, but has made some progress in some ways. So y'all still singing Guapale. Y'all still singing Closer. It was like yesterday that song just came out. But just to know that that was the first Black video uploaded to YouTube, that tells you the world we live in. So
But also,
imagine when there were black people who tried to get on there and start talking like politics. I ain't talking about people who were doing the, how to's and DIYs and all that other stuff. I'm talking when they started to come on here and start talk politics like us.
yeah, no, because it reminds me of all of the structural barriers to entry that that people have. And when I say people, I want to go down the list. Black people overwhelmingly did not have the infrastructure or the resources to break into the YouTube world early. It was the cost. And I know this because I've been on YouTube for at least 12 of those 25 years, and I've been a student of YouTube. Like, I studied it, I watched it, I saw the changes. I remember the very first YouTube app on the very first iPhone, right? That's how old I am. And so I've seen them, and you're right, it was not a space that was populated by anyone Black originally. And there's another group of people who it's been very hard to get: poor people, working class people, which Black people are overwhelmingly a majority of. Like, well, I can't say majority of, but as a percentage of Black people, most Black people are in the working poor. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what it is. It's sorry, I just want to be clear. It was Guapola's Closer was the YouTube's first Black music video on the app. But I'm laughing about that because it came out in 2001 and it wasn't uploaded there until 2005. They don't encourage us to get on these apps, Ben.
Even then?
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't encourage us to get on these apps, but when we do get on them,
and same thing. They take and replicate, right? Same thing that happened with all the dance crazes. Same thing that happened with just hip hop dance. Period. You look at how the algorithm took it to China, and China took it, and like everywhere you look, like every video from China for like 5 years was nothing but them replicating Black culture. But then we're left out of it systemically, like economically, we're left out of it. And that has been the case. That's the same reason. And I'm gonna keep 100 with y'all. Like, y'all, this is a very intersectional show. Y'all know I'm gonna give these caveats because I'm about to say some stuff that's gonna sound like I'm not intersectional. But you got to realize, when you have one community that is structurally extracted from on every single level, on every single issue. Am I frozen?
No, you are, but YouTube,
I'm just keep talking.
YouTube didn't like. No, keep talking. YouTube didn't like what you were saying, but keep preaching, brother Ben.
So, but really, really think about this, Rebecca. In everything that we do, it is, they will sample us, they will replicate us, they will make money off of us. Then they will literally come to our neighborhoods and sell us back our own products.
Speak.
While taking our money out of our community. Speak. I got more solidarity than a lot of Black folks would like for me to have. I got solidarity with brown folks. I got solidarity with Asian folks. I got solidarity with white folks. But look here, I got solidarity with Arabs. I say it just like that because that's how we say it in our community. But when every restaurant in our community that is selling us back our own type of food ain't Black, but is run by our Arab friends. When every beauty salon, not beauty salon, but beauty supply store in every single Black community across this country is not owned, not even a portion owned by Black folks, but it's overwhelmingly owned by our Chinese neighbors, right? When we see this structurally, every dance that we come up with, hell, it even goes to social media. Black Twitter was literally cannibalized, digested by Elon Musk, and regurgitated into this MAGA misinformation machine. They use every one of our tactics. They use every one of our methodologies in order to get Donald Trump in power. What are they doing? They are taking and synthesizing, crushing Black soul, and they're taking it and making money off of it. And they've been doing it since time immemorial. Listen, I love every community. And that make a lot of my friends upset because maybe I shouldn't love them so much, but I do. But I'm gonna tell y'all one thing: we're gonna take our own back. We're gonna take it back, and in us taking back what is ours, we're gonna help y'all get blessed too. Y'all get blessed, but y'all not gonna keep getting blessed while taking from us. Y'all gonna get blessed because we gonna bless ourselves, and then the residuals will spill over to y'all.
As they do with us. Well, they don't even do that, but that's a great point that you make. The whole structure that we've made as Black Twitter, and then so much so that the original owner or the previous owner of Twitter, CEO of Twitter, had created a space just dedicated to Black Twitter within the office, and then let the people go home and, continue to construct the Black Twitter space, because that's how Twitter functioned from Black Twitter. The formula was then, like you said, Ben, disintegrated, shut down. As soon as Elon Musk changed it to X, he took down he took pictures of the Black Twitter shirts and the corner in the office, or the section in the office, and said immediately it will be shut down, and everybody who works needs to come right back to the office. The clothing, the merchandise, said hell no. He took that away. And then he replaced it, like you said, with Ben, because I'm repeating this because I want you guys to understand. He replaced all of that was actually beneficial for the space, and replaced it with hate language, misinformation, MAGA, racist words flying off, sex offenders being able to say whatever the hell they want in that space, LGBTQIA plus community being attacked every single day, immigrant community being lied on, ICE being able to use their accounts to promote hate, make dangerous accusations, the White House leveraging their MAGA cult, their MAGA Nazis on their official pages on the internet, using again the formula that was supposed to be community for us.
That's right.
And white folks stole it, and we were still in the space telling them, you stole that, but come on in. It's okay. It's all right. And now anything that you can't tell me that anybody in the space right now that works within politics, that makes comments about politics, or any political situation that's happening within the administration, that speaks against it, and is a Black person, I can guarantee you there's only a few that haven't been hit. But I can guarantee you, on your social media accounts or anything like that, you've been throttled so hard. You've been shadow banned so hard. Your content has been reported as nobody's business. But then you will go and watch white folks saying nigga, 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 nigga with the hard ER, and saying that is for educational purposes on the video, and they continue to have that. Hate groups literally planning out the next mass murders, and their content stays up publicly. And this is where we are right now. And that's not to build community, safe community. It's to be harmful. Continue to be harmful. Danger. That's not fear mongering when we say this again. That's exactly what is happening. How much more do you want us to look at these people and be like, it's not that bad? It's not that bad. People are really gonna go hungry. People gonna be homeless. People losing jobs. Y'all still don't remember about them federal workers? Y'all don't remember that just happened a few months ago? Again, we're still in the first 100 days. We just reached 100 days a day. Let's not forget them federal workers that are out of a job. A woman talking about how, I wish I found that testimony of that woman who was crying, Ben, so we can play it before we get out of here, so I can tell you it's a good wrap up for the first 100 days. Because we quickly, because so many things were happening, forgot about the federal workers. Because they're now working jobs. Like this one woman was saying she was happy she got, and I want to say it was a retail job. And when you think retail, I'm not talking about a mall job or whatever. I think she's working like food or something. I'm not sure, but she's working a retail job. And she's like, I'm so upset, but I'm actually, like, she's so mad about what happened to her. but she's thankful she got a job because there are others that were fired who still can't find a job. Their lives were flipped upside down overnight. Overnight. Because Donald Trump. Deportations are happening like nobody's business. The Haitian woman just died in Florida in the hands. I want to say it was in Florida. Let me look to make sure. But a Haitian woman just died in ICE. Under ICE, being detained by ICE. And Donald Trump is telling them to go harder when they're deporting. Make them feel it. Because we're sending them somewhere else. They may never see their family, hear from their family again. We're sending them to places where it's going to be brutal for them. Remember Guantanamo Bay? He literally made that promise.
Yes.
He promised to not send the ones that are not, who have less offenses, who are not considered dangerous. He wouldn't send them over there. That man, as soon as he bought them beds, he looked at he said, I ain't say that. I never said that. I changed my mind. Take backs. That's exactly what, exactly what it is. And it was in Florida. The woman who was held in by ICE since February. She died. She died on Friday at the Broward Transitional Center. She was being held since February. We are going into May.
My goodness.
And she died.
Do you have a link for that?
I do. Let me send that over to you.
If you don't have it handy. That's what they celebrate, Rebecca. This the thing that they get joy.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm doing okay. Let me tell you why I'm doing okay. Because I paused for a couple years. I disappeared for a couple years, and I've been disappearing here and there. But in my disappearance, I've been taking time to really think about this stuff, and I realized we're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. We're dealing with demons that became flesh and dwelt amongst us. We're dealing with people who literally get joy out of the literal harm they can cause other people. We're dealing with people who celebrate when Black people are killed and then turn around and try to rip justice away from a young Black man who had to use violence to defend himself, right? We're dealing with people who don't care about the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is the point. We're dealing with folks who literally are the antithesis, the exact opposite of everything that Jesus said. And then it dawned on me. I said, oh, wait, this is the Antichrist system. This is really like we're dealing with a high key evil that has to be identified as such. And when I started thinking about it in that lens, it started making a lot more sense. And then it made me feel a little bit better because as much as y'all know we fight, because Rebecca, you've been in this fight for a long time. I stay in these fights. Matter of fact, I'm fighting as we talk. I'm fighting on Twitter right now as we speak. So we fight. But I honestly realize they not just fighting us. They fighting with the Lord. They fighting with something that's on a whole nother level. So the reason that I can look at these first 100 days and be okay is because number one, I'm fighting. Rebecca, you fighting, like we in this thing, right? They coming at you. They got files on you and me, literally.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like
right now.
They got our names on files, and when our name comes up, doors close because people know about us, right? And so number one, I'm okay because we in this fight and we giving it as much as we can with as little as we got. So I'm okay with that because if it falls apart, folks gonna know that there was that little short bald head Negro, and then there was that Haitian sensation queen Rebecca. They gonna remember our entire squad that we did our part. So I'm okay because we fighting. But two, I'm okay because this battle ain't ours; it belongs to the Lord.
That's a good place as ever to wrap it. And I will tell you, because it is the first. What's up to our DJ? He did say hi. I meant to say he did say hello to you guys. Love you, mean it. He has to work. But before we get out of here, I wanted to say, like, for my biggest thing, of course, you guys know it's immigration, but that attack on Black education, really bothers me. And it's literally not only the funding, the accreditation, and we already got problems with that anyway. And at a lot of our HBCUs, that's another conversation for another day. But the attacks on our education, the attacks on us, the attacks on the affordability for black students to go to school. That bothers me so bad because of Florida A&M University,
That
I
part.
am.
Yeah.
I am. I know y'all hate it when I say it, but because of that university, it helped me love myself and my blackness as a Haitian in America even more. I
Come
know
on.
that's causing a lot of the people who use ADOS as a hate group, who use FBA as a hate group, they pissed off. But in actuality, all of the black groups and things of that have loved on me in this country, as far as outside of just, what they taught Black Americans and what they taught Haitians and how they want us to be divided, diaspora wars. Florida A&M, that institution never told me you're Haitian, so get the hell out. They told
Right.
me, look at your blackness. Look how amazing you are. I want you to learn more about that, about who you are in this world as a Black woman and your history in this world. Because I guarantee you, Florida A&M University had that for me, had that from the African boy from London who came to the school, had something for us to learn about ourselves, hone in about ourselves, and for us to love ourselves.
Mm.
And they're trying to attack those institutions that help us with that. That bothers me so much. So when the
Because
first one, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
because Rebecca, it's the realization that number one, they never meant to play by the rules that they established in the first place. They established rules. We won the game. Now they're changing the rules, which takes me back to the question: what does it mean to be successful in an evil system? Because they can always change the rules on you at any minute, and you be out there looking crazy. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Number one, they never meant to play by the rules. Number two, these saltines, help me, Holy Ghost, they mean business. They're all encompassing. They're not going to leave any residual of blackness untouched. They're coming after every aspect of it. If they could treat black people in the United States of America the way Benjamin Netanyahu treated Palestine, they would do it because they already started doing it. They did it in Tulsa. They did it in the Philadelphia movement when they bombed them. They did it in Rosewood. They did it in Camilla, Georgia. They did it in more places that we can't even recite off the top of our memory. So if they could actively do to us today what Benjamin Netanyahu did to the Palestinians, they would do it. And I think the reason it bothers you so much is because you look at it and you're like, oh, they're being so thorough. They're not going to leave anything unturned. They're not going to leave any rock untouched. And they're coming after the very institutions we had to come up with in order to survive their racism in the first place.
That's the craziest part. And they're looking at us like, what do you mean you created that because we wouldn't let you at our institution? Since when? Since forever. Since forever. And then we made one and we made it great. We made institutions all across this nation and we made them great. And so many of the greats have come from those institutions. You and I. So many other people. And they want for us to not have the option to go to those schools. Again, taking away the funding for it, taking away the affordability, making sure that they have problems with the accreditation, all threatening. Oh, on the next episode, I'm just going to do a, let's be clear on it.
Yeah.
The Black Museum in DC.
Come on.
Taking artifacts away. I think they since have been able to salvage the artifacts and things like that. But when that Black Museum opened, that was something for us in this nation. That was an actual Black American museum. Now, again, it had everything in there from music to first of whatever to civil rights conversations and artifacts, and it had everything in there. And the head of it has since went on a leave. And nobody knows where they at. Haven't made any comments. No, nothing. So imagine what the threat may have been.
Right.
Imagine what that was.
Right.
Libraries have now, I got to go because I got another thing to do. But my goodness, it's so good right here. Libraries have taken away books.
If you don't put that R in that
about
berry.
that. Huh? What happened?
If you don't put that R in that berry, go.
Oh, library. Is that right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been fighting with my kids over that for the last week.
And you know, my people ain't from here. We learned as we can say. The
I love that
library.
you let me do that though. I appreciate
February, the library. But no, look, give me the library. But the library in there, they took away our books. They've taken away anything that has for us to celebrate ourselves. For any they took away any knowledge for us to recognize that they've stolen from us, that what they're telling us is true is not true. They've taken away anything that recognizes that America wasn't the first to ever do it. They name ain't Soldier Boy. They ain't the first to do none of this. We were. We created. We did. We didn't steal. As they always try to make us in the system be criminals and stealers. And the whole time it was them. Whole time it was American. And I ain't talking about the originators. I'm talking about the colonized, the original colonizers of America. It was them. So, man, I wanted to go into watching the movie Sinners, Man, but we may have to do that another time.
Yeah.
But we're at the end of the show.
Ooh.
I gotta go ahead and do a recording at 1 p.m. because your girl, I'm trying to do work, right? I'm trying to work. I'm trying to work.
Grinding.
Can
I leave us with some good news real quick? If
Absolutely.
Give me less than 5 seconds because I want to get this on the screen. And I know, Rebecca, you have a much better foreign accent pronouncing name. But our dear brother from Columbia University has been released. Let's listen to him real quick.
We will not fear anyone because our fight is a fight for love, is a fight for democracy, is a fight for humanity.
Amen.
And I am saying it clear and loud.
Yes.
To President Trump and his cabinet.
Yes.
I am not afraid of you.
Let's go. Let's go.
Baby.
I'll pause it there because it goes on for much longer.
Oh, I love that. Please go take a listen to that. But I love that. I know that he was arrested at his, for people who don't know, he was arrested. Mohsen, I want to say Mahdawi was arrested. He's a Columbia University student who was arrested at his citizenship interview. They arrested him at the interview. And now he is freed. There we have other people who have been detained in some similar way. So it's great to see this young man freed, but it's also great to see him come with the message that Donald Trump, I am not afraid of you.
Come on. Now,
I
that's
love
some
that
good
message.
news. Go on and do your great thing. What you about to go do? Tell us again what you about to go do.
I'm about to go record, and we're going to discuss something for Ole and Friends. It's at 1 p.m., so I don't want to miss it. So it's just going to be a pre-record for Ole and Friends and the latest episode for this week. So that's the next thing. Also, I'm going to start recording for my drop for a new Let's Be Clear. So I know Tokyo, you want to read? Because we probably ain't got that minivan. So we can really read. We can read. And I'll go to my Cash App as well. We can read.
And look, we appreciate every one of them, like to the utmost. We really, really do. Tokyo Hans, due to the time difference, I'm assuming they're in Tokyo. Shout out. Now they're probably not still here.
Thank you, Tokyo.
I'm not here for a long time, but here for a good time. Stay amazing.
I
Rebecca.
love that.
With that camera. Here is C333. I'm not gonna read all those numbers, but you see yourself on the screen. Here's a quarter. You played yourself. That was talking about another story. They're not talking to us, but thank you for that. Not Lowe's 2. Thanks for the $10. Pete Hexeth, more like Pete Hex breath. Am I right? Yeah.
Well, our clap back gotta be a little tighter right there. We gotta be a little.
Send all your dad jokes, especially when you send them with a cash. I mean, with a super chat.
Yeah.
They said, "Hey, Donald Trump, Hollywood called. They want to make a movie about you. Yeah, it's called Peter Pan 2. Hey, yo,
that's a good one. We're getting there. We're getting there because come on, not Los. Thank
Thank
you,
you for the
Blake.
super sticker. Then
Thank
we
you.
have Blockavelli.
Blockavelli.
I love it. It's for the culture. That part.
Thank you.
Love it. And then William Moore, longtime supporter. Did y'all know about the new Trump executive order where he's using the law firms he extorted to represent police officers? No, I didn't know that was the specific use, but I knew it was going to be for something evil. Donald Trump has secured over $1 billion worth of free legal representation from law firms all across this country. And the first thing he's using them for is to help police officers who's accused of killing Black folks. Black folks, we're going to have to lay extra low. I don't mean not be in their faces. I mean just extra careful in everything that we do, because now they have the whole full force of the federal government and the president of the United States behind them to be able to get away with killing us.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, please let's be real. Also, the defense, like, they want to pull Black folks out so that they can start targeting Black folks. I'm just saying that's how I feel like that's about to be what the situation is. I really do. Was that all the
Yeah, that was everything. Thank y'all so much.
No. I just want to get to thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you so much for saying from a fan of your work. Which I could send some more. No, that was enough. I really appreciate you, and that was on yesterday. I really appreciate you, Lisa, as well. Lisa, thank you for yours. Carrie, you always look out every month. I love you. Mean it. Phoenix, again, thank you for recognizing that it is going to be the start of my birthday month on tomorrow, May 15th. It's your girl's birthday. Thank you, Donyette. She says, she said, bully Matt Bender and Emma to get you on the Majority Report. I told Matt, I just think I'm a little too Black. And Omega Star says, green looks good on you. Thank you so much. I think green looks good on me too. So I appreciate you. You guys.
You know what,
so
Rebecca,
much.
let me do this before you go. How old are you this year?
I'm going to be 35.
So can we get 35 people to send Rebecca $35 each before her birthday month starts? Because I'm quite sure you could use it before the 15th. You probably can use it by the 1st.
Absolutely.
So we get 35 people to send Rebecca $35 for her birthday. Send her some birthday love. Now listen, if you ain't got $35, send her $5, send $10, send her $1,000, send whatever you can send to the sister so the queen can keep staying afloat until this paradigm changes. But I feel a shift coming. I feel it.
Oh, I feel it too, Ben. I
feel
feel that right in my shana. And Becca's voice on Cash App. I love you guys. We touch and agree. Love you, mean it. I'm glad that we weren't here for too much of a long time, but we definitely made sure we caught up with you guys. I love you guys.
Sure. Happy birthday, Tyler Hackner. We didn't miss you.
NJL, thank you for your 35. You came in quick. Thank you, NJL. I'll see you guys.
Oh, look at that. Look at God moving quickly.
God is working.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, guys. Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is.
It's time for like it or not. Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life ish. I live in life in the ATL.